So, where are we at today? Well, we're in El Paso, Texas. CBP officer arrested in El Paso charged with alien smuggling and drug trafficking. This is from February 10th, 2025. Also, I'd like to note, it is cold outside. The dogs are in the house. They might bark. The kids are home from school because the school is as bipolar as the weather, apparently. They decided that there was going to be a 2-hour delay. Then they decided there was going to be a 3-hour delay. Then after the buses ran, they decided to cancel school. So that's where we're at with that. We're going to start here. Then I'm going to go to reader mode so the ads will not pop up. This is from February 10th, 2025. CBP officer arrested in El Paso charged with alien smuggling and drug trafficking. El Paso, Texas. A Customs and Border Protection officer was arrested in El Paso on criminal charges relating to his alleged involvement in a conspiracy to smuggle undocumented non-citizens for financial gain and alleged drug trafficking activity. According to court documents, between on or about December 21st, 2023 and February 5th, 2025, Manuel, Perez Jr., 32, of El Paso, allegedly smuggled and attempted to smuggle undocumented non-citizens into the United States for commercial advantage and private financial gain. The indictment alleges that in multiple instances, Perez Jr. admitted a vehicle driven by an undocumented non-citizen at the Paso del Norte port of entry in El Paso as part of human smuggling operations. Additionally, Perez Jr. allegedly conspired to possess a substance containing at least 5 kilograms of cocaine from on or about November 1st, 2019 through and including February 5th, 2025 to distribute throughout Texas, Louisiana, North Carolina, and elsewhere. Now, let's put this in perspective. 5.5 kilograms of cocaine, that is just over 11 pounds. That's a lot of blow. I'm just saying. Perez Jr. is charged with 1 count of conspiracy to bring aliens to the United States for financial gain, 3 counts of bringing aliens to the United States for financial gain, and 1 count of conspiracy to possess a controlled substance with intent to distribute. If convicted, he faces a up to 5 years in federal prison for human smuggling conspiracy charge, 3 to 10 years in prison for each of the 3 additional human smuggling charges, and 10 years to life for the drug trafficking charge. A federal district judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Well, U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors sounds to me like he might be part of the club. So, sentencing guidelines, why don't he just put the guidelines out here for us to read now? U.S. Attorney Jamie Esperanza of the Western District of Texas made the announcement. The investigation was a joint effort by FBI El Paso, U.S. Customs and Border Protection Office of Professional Responsibility, good one, and Department of Homeland Security Office of Inspector General, which comprised the FBI El Paso West Texas Border Corruption Task Force. Can we get some longer names? Put them in an acronym. Along with the assistance of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Office of Field Operations, U.S. Border Patrol El Paso Sector, Texas Department of Public Safety Criminal Investigation Division, Texas Highway Patrol, Homeland Security Investigations, El Paso, and the Drug Enforcement Administration El Paso Division. Damn. Assistant U.S. Attorney John Johnston is prosecuting the case. An indictment is merely an allegation, and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. Okay, absolutely. Seems like a lot of names and people and a lot of important. Man, this must be some serious squirrel shit going on. Because most people will read this, they won't even read the whole article. They'll read it and they'll be like, yo, he smuggled some people in. I don't get it. Like, okay, there was a little bit of blow. Okay. First of all, where there's smoke, there is always fire. So I did some looking and I found the fire. Borderland Beat, and this is from February 16th, 2025. Arrested El Paso CBP officer was allegedly a Linea cartel member. You can't make this shit up. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer allegedly involved in migrant smuggling on the El Paso border was allegedly a member of the Mexican drug cartel, a federal agent testified. And stop with the migrants. They are illegal aliens. Illegal alien used to be the FBI's definition of people that enter this country illegally. That was their definition. And then in the last handful of years, that became racist. And you can't say they are fucking illegal aliens. I don't care if you like it or not. A federal magistrate judge ordered CBP officer Manuel Perez Jr., 32, of El Paso, to remain jailed without bond at a detention hearing Thursday, February 13th, in federal court in downtown El Paso. Perez is allegedly a member of the Linea drug cartel. Perez was fired from CBP after his arrest on federal human and drug smuggling charges on February 8th by the FBI El Paso West Texas Border Corruption Task Force following a multi-agency investigation, court officials said. If convicted, he could face up to 10 years. He could face 10 years up to life in prison. They must have found some more shit. Multiple witnesses said he belonged to Linea Cartel in Mexico. A special agent with the CBP Office of Professional Responsibility testified at a hearing. Perez allegedly told investigators that he was being paid $2,500 for each undocumented person he allowed to pass at his inspection lane at the El Paso del Norte, whatever, International Bridge in downtown El Paso. The special agent testified. Because I was looking and I was saying, it doesn't make any sense. Why? There used to be a show years ago that followed the Border Patrol around. I think it was on Discovery or one of them damn. Anyway, we used to watch them and cops and whatnot. My husband was in law enforcement. He worked for the Department of Corrections, and there were shows that kind of showed you, and we kind of watched them from time to time. Like, why these people, why would they let these people, call them what you want, into the country? And how would it not be treason? Betraying one's country is treason. I mean, it doesn't have to be, like, what is it they used to say? Something, misdemeanors and high crimes. And doesn't have to be overthrowing a government. It's just, their job is supposed to be the security of the country, and they are letting them in. And here's one for $2,500. The exact number of smuggled persons Perez waved through his border inspection point was unclear. Prosecution said that Perez may have been paid as much as $400,000 in a border migrant smuggling scheme dating to December 2023. A cocaine distribution conspiracy case dates from February 5, going back to November 2019, according to the indictment. Also, they kept saying, the women and the children, these people just want to come here for a better life. Please stop with the fucking bullshit. To begin with, El Salvador, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Guatemala, Honduras, Peru, and I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm missing, completely emptied their prisons straight to the southern border, and then idiots like this let them in. Oh, well, they don't have any money and they don't have anything. And you saw them, and they were mostly fighting age males in Nikes and Adidas and the North Face, Under Armour. I'm just saying, these poor people are coming here for a better life, are they? Because this one back here, $2,500. For each undocumented, $2,500 a piece. So they're coming here when they're getting money from somewhere. Please stop with the fucking feel bad for the people. They want a better life. What about the people in this country that want a better life? That were born and raised here from generations back that want a better life? How about we worry about the people in this country first? And if you don't fucking like it, you can feel free to go somewhere else too. Smugglers in intercepted phone calls spoke of 100% guarantee crossing because they had the officer in their pocket. The agent testified the names of others involved in smuggling have not been disclosed. Why? We should know every last one of them and their picture up. Perez attorney Ruben Ortiz suggested at the hearing that the co-conspirators involved in the border smuggling could be lying about his client. The cooperating witnesses are telling them, federal investigators, whatever they want to hear for now, Ortiz said, adding that informers are pointing the fingers perhaps to gain favor from the government in their own case. Are they? Well, Linea affiliation. Perez is a U.S. citizen born in California. His attorney said he has no past criminal history and no issue with drugs or alcohol. Well, so he just decided to step into shit deep, didn't he? Perez has an apartment in El Paso and was also renting a home in Juarez. Assistant U.S. Attorney John S. Johnston painted an image of a U.S. federal agent affiliated with Linea, a regional crime organization more commonly known as the Juarez Drug Cartel. Well, Juarez Drug Cartel. Renting a home in, I'm just saying. The special agent with the CBP Office of Professional Responsibility testified that witnesses told investigators that Perez was always armed with a firearm in bars and nightclubs in Mexico, and even when he was sleeping. Sleep with one eye open while you're at it, Perez. Witnesses claim Perez had an armed security detail with him at all times in Mexico. The claim was corroborated by photos. The agent said, well, Customs and Border Patrol must be paying pretty good when you got an agent running around with armed security. This is where we're at. A witness told investigators that Perez had stated that if he were ever to be arrested, that he would prefer to be arrested in Mexico so that he could continue his criminal activity in jail, the special agent said. Now, this is coming from a special agent, not just some Joe Schmo that said, hey, I got some pictures and I heard something. I'm just saying. Perez was arrested on duty on February 8th. He was fired from the CBP the following day. Lived mostly in Juarez. The special agent said the CBP investigators used a database of recorded border crossings to determine that Perez spent more than 80% of his time in Mexico while he was not at work in El Paso. Well, I'm guessing he had a good reason to be there, right? Yeah. Ortiz countered that his client spent a lot of time in Juarez because he used to have a girlfriend there. So he used to have a girlfriend, but he doesn't anymore. So what? Is he in Juarez just looking for another girlfriend? Please stop. As part of the investigation, U.S. federal agents contacted Mexican agents who found $18,000 in cash after serving a warrant at Perez's home in Juarez. Special agent testified. By all measures, he lives in Mexico, Johnson said of Perez, mentioning that the rest of the suspected corrupt officer's smuggling profits are unaccounted for. I'm pretty sure because he might be dumb, but he's not stupid. He probably got that shit hidden. Some damn mattresses are in the ground or... There's no telling. Migrant smuggling. The indictment stated Perez was allegedly involved in a migrant smuggling scheme at his post at the Paso del Norte bridge going back to early December 2023. The indictment stated that an undocumented migrant paid $16,000. These poor people are coming here for a better life. And, meaning one, illegal alien paid $16,000 to be brought across at the port of entry. Where are these motherfuckers coming up with $16,000 that they're so poor and desolate and they need to come here for a better life? People, stop it with the fucking bullshit. The investigation allegedly found Perez allowed a gray Nissan Pathfinder to cross the border with undocumented migrants several times. Perez allegedly entered information from 25 visas belonging to legal border crossers in the place of the smuggled migrants into TECS, formerly known as the Treasury Enforcement Communication System, the computer system used by CBP at U.S.-Mexico border to assist with screenings and admissions. The indictment stated TECS keeps track of people entering and exiting the country and those involved or suspected to be involved in crimes. The investigation found that the persons that Perez allegedly allowed to cross the border did not match the people in the documents, the agent said. The Nissan Pathfinder would take the smuggled migrants, including children that they have no idea where they're at, to a meetup spot outside a restaurant in the 7400 block of Gateway East Boulevard, location of the Ranchland Village retail strip. The migrants would then be transported to other cities in other vehicles, the agent said. Yeah, because don't think they just stay there. They're everywhere. They're probably your neighbors right now. The indictment makes a brief mention of a proof of life video taken of the undocumented person by a member of the smuggling group to provide proof of a successful smuggle into the United States. The video was not mentioned at the hearing. Why was the video not mentioned at the hearing? They're like, hey, we got to take a video of you, stand still. Here's a video. Look. I need my payday. They alive. Cocaine smuggling. The investigation found Perez and a co-conspirator in October 2023 arranged to take 8 kilograms of cocaine from El Paso to Louisiana and North Carolina, authorities said. 8 kilograms. So you're looking at almost 18 pounds. I'm just saying. The co-conspirator's information was corroborated with records from license plate readers placed strategically across the United States and shows the vehicles traveled across Texas to Louisiana to Alabama and to North Carolina. CBP special agent said hotel records were also found. He's leaving a trail. He's not very bright. After his arrest, Perez, he probably used a credit card. Perez allegedly told investigators that the smuggler had already paid him $20,000 from what Perez said were 7 kilos of cocaine that the smuggler had a drug debt with him for the rest of the money, the agent said. So 7 kilos, that's 15.5 pounds. I kind of see him as a glorified mule who allegedly waved undocumented persons through the border checkpoint instead of some type of mastermind, Ortiz told the judge. A mule is a term normally used to refer to a person utilized to carry drugs across the border. Ortiz argued to have Perez released on bond, saying that he doesn't pose a danger to the public. Perez could stay under house arrest with a GPS monitor with his mommy in El Paso, his attorney said. How about throw him in there? No single segregation. Sorry. Put him in there. It really wouldn't matter because he'd probably be in there with a bunch of people that he let in. But they probably want their money back. So it might be a little rough for him. Ortiz added that the county jail was not a safe place for his client and that Perez waived his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and voluntarily spoke to investigators when he was arrested. Ortiz mentioned Perez has a lot of debt. But he didn't go into detail. Guess what? Don't fucking care. I give zero shits about Perez. Not a safe place for him. Well, maybe little Perez should have thought about that when he was making bank and living in Juarez looking for a girlfriend. U.S. Magistrate Judge Miguel Torres ordered Perez to remain jailed, explaining that there was no question that Perez posed a flight risk due to the amount of time he spent in Mexico, in addition to his alleged association with the Mexican cartel. CBP and DHS statements. CBP declined a request for an interview. However, they provided the following statement. You ready for this? Get your feet up because the shit's about to get deep. CBP stresses honor and integrity in every aspect of our mission, and the overwhelming majority of CBP employees and officers perform their duties with honor and distinction, work tirelessly every day to keep our country safe. The defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. We defer to the Office of the U.S. Attorney for anything further on this matter. Yes, so their comment is no comment. And when you come back for comment after the comment, there'll be no comment. Secretary Christy Naum addressed the incident of the Customs and Border Protection CBP officer accused of human smuggling and drug trafficking. To traffic drugs and smuggle humans while wearing the badge is not only a disgusting betrayal of our patriotic Customs and Border Protection officers, but of our nation and the American people. Manuel Perez will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Will he? Because I'm going to keep an eye on little Mr. Perez, and we're going to see exactly what happens to that little deviant. I'm just saying, it's like it's one thing after another. One thing after another. The county jail was not a safe place for his client. And he waived his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Well, he's a dumbass. He's been through law enforcement training. Fifth Amendment, you have to tell them you are invoking your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You can't just sit there and be quiet, because then they start stacking more charges on you for that shit. You have to say, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And then you got to shut the fuck up. That's how that works. You can't keep talking. Because if you say, my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Letting you know that's where I'm at right here. And then you keep talking, they can just sit back and listen, and they're recording it too. I'm just saying. So anyway, that's where we're at with this one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Again, 90% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. What are you doing? You're literally at your computer right now. Some of you watching on TV. But you can still hit the little button and it'll go up and you can click to, subscribe. You got your phone in your hand. The button's like right there. Just subscribe. And let me know what you think about this one. And I'm out.